Some people don't think much about what to wear every day, not because they don't care, but because they've already decided. Comfort comes first every single day, and once that decision is made, everything else becomes secondary. At first, this might look simple, even predictable, but this kind of consistency is not random. It reflects how a person reduces friction in their daily life. Every morning, most people go through small decisions. What looks good today? What fits the situation? What feels appropriate? These decisions may seem minor, but they repeat every day, and repeated decisions create mental load. People who dress for comfort daily remove that entire layer. They don't evaluate multiple options. They don't optimize for impression. They don't adjust based on mood or environment constantly. They follow a fixed rule. If it feels good, it works. Now let's go deeper into decision systems. Humans naturally try to reduce unnecessary thinking. When something can be simplified, the brain prefers it. People who dress for comfort daily create a simple system. No comparison, no overthinking, no second guessing. This frees up attention. And attention is one of the most valuable resources you have. When you don't spend it on small, repeated decisions, you can use it for more important things. This is why many highly focused individuals develop consistent clothing habits, not because they lack variety, but because they value efficiency. Now be honest, do you choose comfort every day? Or do you change based on situation? Write comfort or adjust in the comments. Now, here's something deeper. Comfort is not just a physical preference, it's a psychological priority. It means the person values internal experience more than external perception. They care more about how they feel throughout the day than how they appear in a single moment, and this shifts their entire decision framework. Instead of asking, "How does this look?" they ask, "How will this feel over time?" That one shift changes everything, because time becomes the main factor. Not minutes, but hours. Something that looks perfect for a short moment, but feels slightly uncomfortable for hours, becomes a bad choice. And something simple, that feels consistently comfortable, becomes the best choice. Now let's talk about consistency. Dressing for comfort daily creates predictability. You know what you're wearing, you know how it feels, you know how your body will respond. There are no surprises, and predictability reduces stress, because uncertainty always requires attention. When something is predictable, the brain relaxes. If you want more insights about human psychology, hit like and subscribe. Now, here's a controversial thought. People who dress for comfort daily are sometimes judged as repetitive or lacking style. But repetition is not always a limitation. Sometimes it's a system designed to remove unnecessary variation. Because not all variation is useful, some variation only creates extra decisions without adding real value. And people who recognize that choose consistency instead. Now let's go deeper into identity. When you dress for comfort daily, your identity becomes less dependent on clothing. You don't rely on outfits to express who you are. You rely on behavior, presence, consistency. This creates a different kind of confidence, not based on appearance, but based on stability. You don't need to adjust your identity. For different environments, you remain the same, and that consistency makes your behavior more predictable. Predictable behavior often appears confident, even if the clothing itself is simple. Now let's talk about energy. Every small discomfort takes energy to ignore. Every adjustment takes energy. Every moment of awareness takes energy. People who dress for comfort daily remove most of these small energy drains. They don't experience constant micro-interruptions, which means their energy stays more stable throughout the day. Stable energy leads to consistent performance, and consistency often matters more than short bursts of effort. Now, here's another layer. Dressing for comfort daily reduces self-monitoring. You're not constantly checking how you look. You're not adjusting posture for appearance. You're not thinking about impressions repeatedly. And when self-monitoring reduces, mental clarity increases because your attention is not divided. It stays focused. Now let's talk about social perception. People may interpret comfort-focused dressing in different ways. Some see it as confidence. Others see it as indifference. But both interpretations come from the observer, not the person making the choice. Because the person choosing comfort is not necessarily trying to send a signal, they are optimizing their experience. Now, let's go deeper into habit formation. When something works consistently, the brain stops exploring alternatives. Comfort becomes the default. And once something becomes default, it no longer requires effort. It becomes automatic. Automatic behavior reduces decision fatigue, and reduced decision fatigue improves overall mental efficiency. Now here's the deeper psychological pattern. People who dress for comfort daily often apply the same principle to other areas of life. They simplify where possible. They remove unnecessary friction. They avoid complexity that doesn't add value. This doesn't mean they avoid effort. It means they direct effort toward things that actually matter. Now here's the final insight. Dressing for comfort daily is not just about clothing. It's about building a system that supports consistency. Consistency in energy, consistency in focus, consistency in identity. And people who build this system often move through life with less internal resistance because they are not constantly adjusting to unnecessary variables. They reduce noise so they can focus on what matters.